Are you looking forward to fall? I have been saving some books especially for this season. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the books I have on my Fall TBR. I have some that I'm planning to read in September and some for October. I haven't thought as far as November yet for now. So for September, I've been saving these 3 books. So the first one is Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. It has 448 pages, so I will probably spend most of the month reading it. I had already read Jane Eyre and Villette, which I really loved. And for some reason, there's something about the Bronte sisters that feels like fall. This is supposed to be a historical novel. It was originally published in 1849, so chronologically speaking, it came out after Jane Eyre but before Villette. I am really interested in reading this one because I've seen a couple of people on YouTube and Instagram saying that this is their favorite novel by Charlotte Bronte. So I was intrigued. Apparently there's 2 important female characters in this, Caroline and Shirley, so I can't wait to read about them. I actually bought this last fall, but I've been patiently waiting to read it, so I'm excited about this one. The second book I have on my September list is A View of the Harbor by Elizabeth Taylor. This is going to be my first time reading this author. She is a British author and this book was published in 1947. Let me read you some of the praise for her book. It says, "There is certainly little melodrama in Taylor's novels. There are no heroes and no improbable villains, only flawed, likable characters negotiating the ordinary small crises of marriage, family, and friendship." This is a quote by Sarah Waters. I really like the cover, and I think it kind of matches the Shirley edition I have too. I'm hoping it'll be one of those books where there's an emphasis on character analysis more than plot, so we'll see about this one. Now, the third book on my September list is Morning and Evening by John Foss. This is a Norwegian author that I've never read, but he's supposed to have a unique style with no punctuation and a tendency to reflect on the human condition. So hopefully this short book will help me figure out if I like this author so I can decide if I want to read more books by him. So that's for September. Now, for the month of October, I also have 3 books I want to read, which who knows if I will be able to get to all of them, because the first book is Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens, and it has 644 pages. I have not read Dickens in a long time, but I've enjoyed a lot of his books so far. I think my favorite by him is Bleak House, but I noticed several people said Our Mutual Friend was their favorite. So I decided that maybe it's time for me to revisit Dickens and see if I like this one. This novel was published in 1865. It's supposed to be about an inheritance. It says here, Dickens uses the settings of London and the River Thames to explore themes of death, renewal, and the corrupting influence of money. So there you have it. This idea of an inheritance is intriguing to me. I remember reading Old Goriot by Balzac, which was also about an inheritance and people waiting for someone to die. And I always like to read about how people are motivated by greed sometimes. So hopefully I can dive into the story and get totally immersed in it. The second book on my October pile is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I discovered Shirley Jackson last year, and I loved her short story collection titled The Lottery. So I wanted to read more of her books. I've been saving this one for October because I want to be reading this book close to Halloween. Once I read this one, there's another book of hers I want to read called We Have Always Lived in the Castle. But if I don't get to it by this fall, I might actually save that one for next year. We'll have to see. It's a lot of books. The third book I have on my October pile is The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. This book was written in 1920, but actually takes place in New York City in the 1870s. This is supposed to be about a love triangle, which I'm usually not a big fan of, but I'll have to make an exception because I really like Edith Wharton's writing style. I discovered her back in January when I read Ethan Frome, and it blew me away. It felt like she could take apart the inner workings of human emotions and find words to describe all the complexities behind a single look or a comment. And so she instantly became one of my favorite writers. So that's my fall TBR. Let me know what you guys are planning to read this season. Till next time, happy reading!